Good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Backmarkers F1 Show 2021 Portuguese Grand Prix live stream watch along. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining along. I'm going to bring in my camera here in just a minute. Kind of a bit of a rush setup this morning, some technical difficulties, but let me bring in my two quick co-hosts here as we are already underway in Portugal for qualifying. Shaker Barty, Tyler McDonald, good morning to you both. Doing good? Okay, I think I got you guys now. There we go.
Nice morning for some qualifying in Portugal. Beautiful day in Portugal as well.
Yeah, so Tyler, you were just telling me before we got on air some of the issues plaguing some of the drivers heading into Q1 here. Can you just give us a quick update on what some of the issues were coming from FP3?
Yeah, so I was just listening. Lando Norris has an ECU problem. Looks like he's all right there now as he's out on track, but some panic going down at the McLaren garage. And I couldn't catch the name, but one of the Mercedes had a problem with a sensor. So had to take the gearbox off and everything before qualifying. And they're both in the garage still, but will be out, I'm sure, shortly. So lots of drama going on. Should be an interesting qualifying session, especially with these tricky conditions right now in Portugal. Very windy out at Portimao, and the track is still just as slippery as it was last year when we saw the crazy Grand Prix. So we'll see how the next 16 minutes come out for qualifying one.
Yeah, absolutely. As right now, we're watching Lando Norris out on track, setting a personal best in the purple.
Yeah, we have a few runners on medium tires right now, so we'll see what happens with the afternoon temperatures. Who knows? Maybe it could be a little warmer out in the afternoon, and yeah, maybe the soft tires will speed up throughout the qualifying session. But we'll see. It's going to be interesting. Lance Stroll out there on softs as well, so it's an interesting mix between cars and teams on who is on what tire so far. We'll see what works. Yeah.
Is he still considered an Aston Martin driver? Oh, look at that.
Nice lap from George Russell to
Yeah.
120.7. Goes fastest so far. So, George has been showing pretty decent pace so far this weekend. Giovinazzi just beats him out there with a 19.9, and so does Vettel and so does Raikkonen. So we'll see. The track times, it's going to get faster and faster as the track rubbers in a little bit more throughout the Q1 here. Track evolution, I think, is going to be big in this session, in all three sessions, really.
Yeah.
I know Nora's going top.
Yeah, so he sets currently the quickest time, 119.9. So we got Carlos Sainz who's on the soft tire. Norris's teammate Ricardo on the medium. Ricardo's look much better.
The only ones on, sorry, Chris, the only ones on mediums right now are the McLarens of Norris and Ricardo.
Yeah, very interesting. Tell you what, the Alpines have been going pretty well so far this weekend. I'm curious to see where they're going to end up if they can get both cars into Q3.
No, they really have. The car looks a little more grippy toward this kind of slick track. So I'm not sure if it's their car setup or just how their car is built. But you're right, Chris. They've been looking a lot better than what they have in the previous races so far. Leclerc has his time deleted. So
Okay.
we're going to be watching those track limits at turn 4. It's been a problem all weekend with cars getting their lap times deleted, especially with the gusty winds. We've seen a lot of practice times deleted. Of course, those don't really matter as much, but now with qualifying going on, you're going to be seeing a lot of lap times deleted. The stewards are very, very strict on corner 4 track limits.
Yeah. Not elsewhere though. Certain parts of the track they are, but
That's right.
Certain first races of the year doesn't count.
yeah.
that too.
Yeah, Shaker, let us know if we were missing up on any chats yet in the room. It's a little bit of a different setup this morning. I usually do it from my office, but I was just telling you guys off camera a story for another day with why we can't do it from there. But so setup not 100% as it was in the earlier live streams, but hopefully you guys are still enjoying it. So Verstappen just crossing the line now. Let's see where this time is going to put him out at. So he sets a interesting. So we only go second fastest behind Sainz, the 1:19.4.
Bottas picked him as well. So, I mean, everyone's within 1/100th of a second of each other, the top 3. But,
Yeah.
that hopefully gives us a little bit of taste of Q3. Maybe the Ferraris can come up there and make a little bit of a surprise. We saw how Leclerc made a surprise starting P4 earlier this year. Maybe he'll be able to do it again.
Yeah, he's been really good on a Saturday, hasn't he?
He has been fantastic.
So we got the two
Alonso
Alpha.
selling before.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I just saw that too. I think my main feed is a little bit behind yours there, Shaker. But yeah, Fernando Alonso just goes 5th fastest.
I'll wait to comment then. I think I'm faster than both of you.
Okay. Yeah, so just showing a replay now on my end of Sebastian Vettel. What happened here?
Oh, whoa.
My stream just crashed. So what happened to me?
Who was that he almost hit there?
I think it was one of the Alpha Tauris. I don't know if it was Sonoda or Gasly though.
So let's see. Yeah, okay, there we go. The time's just updated. I was about to say because it didn't update all the way. So coming up to
there's a time.
10 minutes to go.
Lewis Hamilton 18.7 just to set the mark a little bit. So, I mean, we started this session at 1:20, the minute 20s, and now we're at a minute 18 lap time. So you can see track evolution is really going to play a factor.
Yeah, do you think just a little bit, eh? So Verstappen still has the fastest first sector, 22.7, and then Hamilton blitzed the second and the third sector. But we should be seeing, obviously, those times fall, like you said, Tyler. Is there an update, actually, on what the track temperature is? I saw in FP3 it actually got pretty high into the mid-30s.
Yeah. Track temperature right now is actually 39 degrees Celsius. Air temperature is 18. So the track a lot warmer than the air temperature. It could help the soft tires come into life with that was almost 4-degree air temperature or track temperatures. Might be the main reason we see all these runners on soft tires as well as Hamilton's time gets deleted for track limits at turn 1 this time.
So that's why it was that fast.
Yeah, exactly. Just cut turn 1.
We don't see that often, though. He's actually one of the best in sort of keeping it in the white line, so to say. Except in Bahrain.
That's right.
Had to throw that in there.
Okay, track limits then didn't matter, but then they mattered.
Right. So yeah, Hamilton's had his lap time deleted, so he is so that was okay, so he is on a flying lap again.
Yellow flag sector 3. Let's see if I can pop who that is on the driver tractor. Fernando Alonso, I believe. Well, he was going to the pits, so I believe it was Alonso. It might have wrecked his teammates' time as Ocon was flying in right behind him, so we'll see.
Yeah, and I think there's some feedback coming in from one of you guys. I can hear Crofty in the background.
Oh.
Okay, off. It's me, probably.
How's
So
that?
yeah, no, I think it's gone now.
Okay,
The-
I muted my TV as well.
so Hamilton hasn't gone faster in the first two sectors. So we got two yellow sectors, obviously. So he took a lot out of that first run on the soft tire. I think this lap will be decent enough though to get him through into Q2 safely. With coming up on 7 minutes to go.
Buddy Saba, good morning. Good afternoon, wherever you are as well. Thanks for coming in to the chat.
Oh, we got some chats coming in.
We got
Hi.
one. We got
Oh,
one,
yeah.
which is nice.
Oh, that's my
morning.
dad actually.
Oh, nice.
So good morning.
Well, I'm glad you're enjoying this with us.
Well, if anybody else is in the stream too, let us know where you're watching from.
That's awesome.
It's yeah, it looks. I'm still getting good condition from the stream report in the YouTube live control room. So far so good on the technical side of things, and so far so good in qualifying here for some of the runners here. Who are you expecting, Tyler, here to kind of get cut off here in the zone? We got currently in the drop zone, of course, the two Hasses of Mazepin and Schumacher. We got Latifi, George Russell then as well. Maybe a little bit of a surprise, as we might have thought that George Russell at least. Yeah.
Sergio Perez is off in sector 1. Sorry to interrupt, Chris.
No,
so
no.
he's just throwing a bunch of gravel onto the track, and we'll have to come in for a new set of softs because those things are wrecked.
Yeah. Oh, you can see how much vibration there's on it too.
Yeah. So that's not ideal for Sergio. He's been struggling a little bit this weekend with the track conditions. And we saw last year, it was lap 1 where he spun and he got spun. This is the back end going up to turn 4 and out into the gravel, kept the engine running in. But yeah, that's a tough one for Sergio. So he's going to have to try and regroup.
Yeah. I was just going to add in there, Tyler. Yeah, just right onto the climb into turn 5, or excuse me, turn 4, going into turn 5 down the straight where that new DRS zone is. And that corner is very tricky, especially with how windy this Portimao circuit is. And even when it's not windy, it's kind of tricky to sort of feather the throttle through because you always feel like you're going to lose the back end coming out of that corner. It's a pretty steep climb uphill as well. So, yeah, very, very tricky corner.
I'm really enjoying this track, just how tricky it is. They're showing the wind right now, 17-kilometer-hour winds, and that's a tailwind going into turn 5. So, yeah, that might mean a tailwind going into turn 4 as well. I'm not 100% sure, but
so yeah, we got under 5. Yeah, go ahead, Tyler.
Oh, sorry. No, go ahead, Chris.
No, I was just saying, under 5 minutes to go. I was currently seeing the Aston Martins on track. Of course, Vettel currently safe at the moment, but only P14. So I think that he's definitely at risk, especially with, you mentioned, Tyler, track evolution to come into play here. So this should be a really interesting end here in the last 5 minutes of who can keep it on track and how much that track is actually rubbered in a little bit more to see which drivers can get the advantage.
Oh, just team radio from Verstappen complaining that he has no straight line speed. So that's not good for Sven, who has just said, "Hi guys, let's get Red Bull 1-2." Well, Sergio has put it into the kitty litter, and Max apparently has no straight line speed. So Sven, hopefully they can figure out those issues and get them back. I'm sure they'll make it into Q2, so they have some time to fix everything. But thanks for joining us, Sven. Hopefully your Red Bulls come back.
Yeah, good afternoon to you, Sven, watching from the Netherlands, and I know that, of course, because Sven won. Ooh, that's Sven won our live stream giveaway from earlier on in this preseason where we were doing the 3 days of winter testing. So that's a name that's familiar. Sven, thanks for your support. Glad to see you here. Mick Schumacher currently on a flying lap. This will be his final run here in Q1. Would be surprised if he got out of Q1, but currently did not set a fast sector once, currently setting a personal best in the second sector. Let's see where he crosses the line.
I'm expecting the bottom 5 to stay the bottom 5, unfortunately. Not to be dramatic, but Tsunoda's struggled this weekend as well. So
yeah,
Daniel Ricciardo going from, 14th, 8th?
Yeah, that could mean something for our track evolution, like we mentioned, Shaker. Like these cars could be. I mean, Vettel goes P4. Like,
Battle. Oh my God.
well,
Finally getting some
now
pace in that car.
it should be interesting. Latifi can't make it out, just short, 3/10 off. So unfortunately for Nicholas Latifi, doesn't make it out this weekend. He might have another
Battle
chance if he
Norris.
gets around quickly for a another lap.
Swen's comments, Mick did very well in the last free practice.
Oh, did he? Perfect. I didn't get to watch FP3, unfortunately, but it's good to know that he's doing well. I mean, I think Mick has. I don't know about you guys, but Mick has really impressed me. Just his progression over the last two races. He's really starting to figure things out, I think.
I think he's been pretty solid. His Imola weekend, I mean, despite the spin, obviously, in the race, which a lot of people did, I think he actually had a pretty solid race weekend.
Hmm.
All right, so now we're coming down to the dramatic parts here of Q1. Less than a minute to go. We got Kimi Räikkönen out on track still at the moment. He's close to being at risk. He's
Oh,
14th at
what?
the moment.
Did you guys see? I don't know. Something came flying off his car
Yeah,
around that corner. I don't know if it was something from the car or something on the track.
not sure. I saw that too, Shaker.
Was it the Sparks, maybe?
No, it was
Oh no.
something.
Oh, I hope. Yeah, that's. Oh, man. Mazepin just had a ton of traffic to get through there
Yeah,
in turn 14.
that's not going to help him.
Still personal best in the first and second sector. I don't think it'll be enough to, yeah, stays 20th.
So Latifi's going for another fast lap and just got caught behind Mazepin in turn one.
Ah,
So that would be maybe karma.
I guess that's it's bad news
And
for my mug. I mean, I know you guys probably can't
uh,
see.
Latifi aborted his lap. So
Yeah. So Gasly currently at risk, but he's still finishing a lap.
Sonoda's just to come across the line, and he makes it 11th.
Valtteri Bottas, #1 right now.
Free practice champ.
They were showing a stat how Bottas has gotten out of Q1 115 straight races. Oh, Ricardo doesn't improve. So he's at risk in 15th with Ocon on a flyer right now. Ricardo's really in trouble here, guys. Ocon is going pretty fast here in sector 3.
I think it might go quicker.
Oh, he's close.
Stroll won't make it out either. So can George Russell? He's going to.
Oh, yeah, okay. My main feed froze. I'm back now.
No worries. So, yeah, it looks like it's going to be Ricardo, Stroll, Latifi, Mick Schumacher, and Mazepin out in Q1. What an interesting
Wow.
couple of exits there.
Daniel Ricciardo being out. That I mean, I guess they're all between like a second and within a second of each other,
It's a
basically.
very, very close grid, which is
Very
nice to
close.
see.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's unfortunate for us Canadians. Two Canadians out in Q1.
All right, guys, signing off then.
That's right. Yeah.
I think that's just track evolution, though. Also, like you talked about, Tyler, just unpredictability in terms of how much grip you're going to have, and you're just kind of being caught out. And the drivers like Russell and the Alfa Romeo, for example, of Raikkonen and Giovinazzi, just got it right at the right time. And yeah, I'll have to go back afterwards and take a look at Ricardo's lap to see if where maybe he made a mistake or what. But that's definitely not going to help his progress at his new team, especially considering he was looking a little bit more comfortable with the car this weekend.
Yeah, no, he was. I was just looking at the sector times here. Latifi was on. He was purple in part of sector 1. But then Mazepin got in his way in turn one, and he had to abort the lap. So even he may have made it out of at a Q1. So
Yeah.
unfortunate for a few guys there. It could have been really interesting.
Great qualifying for Sebastian Vettel so far compared to the last 2 weeks. Big
Yes.
improvement over his teammate.
It'd be nice
I'm
if he
just
finished.
looking. Sorry, go ahead, Chris.
I was just gonna say it was nice if he finishes Q3 there.
That would be nice. That'd be an awesome spot for Vettel. Maybe it's just the old wise head of his that's keeping that car straight. I'm just looking. There's a steward picking up a whole bunch of stuff where we saw Raikkonen, a piece of Raikkonen's car come off. So
Didn't
there's
say what it
something.
was, right?
No, they're just little pieces. It looks like I'm not really sure what it is yet.
Oh, is this going to be another weekend where Russell makes it into Q3?
It'll be close. I think Q2, Q3, we're going to see a lot of the same issues as well. Now that we're in this a little bit of a break, guys, if you are in the chat room, say hello again wherever you're watching from in the world. If you got any questions or if you want to submit your predictions for the next two sessions, so we got a couple minutes here before the start of Q2. I posted this tweet just in the middle of the screen here. If hopefully you guys can read it. Just an interesting stat here that Daniel Ricciardo records McLaren's first Q1 exit since the 2019 Brazilian Grand Prix.
Wow, that's a long time for those McLarens. I mean, they did such a good job last year of coming back and um, having a solid car, right? And I'm
Yeah.
just listening to Ricardo's radio, and he's not happy, to say the least.
Yeah, that's going to be really frustrating for him. And tough place to start from as well for the race tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be. We saw how hectic last year was at Portimao, going through the first half a lap, really trying to fire the tires up.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's going to be the same sort of thing. I mean, if he pulls a Raikkonen, he might be in the top five. We all remember Raikkonen did last year.
Yeah. I think it'll be a little bit different, though. I mean, obviously, it's not going to be as damp, and I think it's definitely going to be different. But still, yeah, like you said, it could make it. The track is wider than Imola, for example, so there are more opportunities to make up positions. But it's still going to be pretty hard to try and claw back into the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, maybe before we still got a little bit of a lull here, I got Ricardo's team radio here for anybody who didn't hear it on the broadcast. I'll just play it now.
Daniel, we finished P16. Ocon jumped us just at the end. We're P16.
Yeah, a lot of beeps there. All right, so now as we move into Q2, who do you think here is, I think we can kind of maybe see the obvious ones of which drivers are the most likely to get knocked out ahead of Q3, kind of looking there at the two Alfa Romeos. I think it's going to be kind of tough maybe for Yuki Tsunoda as well to get into that Q3 spot, but who knows? I think maybe one of the Alfa Romeos could maybe squeeze into Q3, but I think it's going to be a lot like we just saw in this session where track evolution, if the conditions keep getting better and better with more grip as the times start to tumble, it could be just being on the track at the right time and at the right moment and not making any mistakes on your lap.
Just listening to Christian Horner. Sven, you're okay. Christian Horner was just saying that Perez has just a bunch of pebbles being shot everywhere, but other than that, the car's all right.
All right, just trying to refresh here. Doesn't look like we got any.
Oh, I was muted. I had a really bad pun. I said some would say he's rocking.
Love it. Hamilton already complaining about traffic, and he has just come out of the pit lane. So that's fantastic.
So So currently, it looks like most of the drivers are out on the medium tire, the C2. Remember, actually, just an interesting sort of stat, or I guess a little bit of a tidbit to keep in the back of your mind. Hamilton's pole lap in 2020 was actually set on the C2, the medium tire.
Interesting.
Yeah, I said in my preview
I didn't remember that.
Yeah, in the race guide that I didn't think it was going to happen this year, but I'm kind of surprised that we didn't see the track rubber in and mature a little bit more. I mean, I guess it wasn't that long ago. We were here 6 months ago, but still, I think I was listening into the broadcast yesterday, and Paul DeResta was saying that Pirelli's tire choice was just a little too conservative and that they could have gotten for something a little bit softer like C4, C3, and C2, which I think, kind of looking at the way the weekend's shaped up so far, I think that he's right.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they could have gone softer, and I always like softer tires. I mean, I'm all for tire wear and having to conserve your tires and do pit stops and stuff. So
Yeah.
I mean, we saw I don't know if you watched the IndyCar race, Chris, this last weekend at in Fort Lauderdale, but yeah, guys doing three stops, and I was like, oh, three-stop race is fantastic.
Yeah.
It was a good race too in Fort Lauderdale, or not Fort Lauderdale, St. Pete, same area.
Yeah, Florida. That's it.
Yeah, in Florida.
Yeah, no, I didn't see it just yet. I watched a little bit of Romain Grosjean's debut, but I'll definitely be getting a little bit more into the IndyCar season this year as that shapes up. So interesting that Norris for McLaren is out on the soft tire, whereas, of course, the two Mercedes are out on the medium. And we've also got Pierre Gasly on the soft, Yuki Tsunoda on the soft. The rest, currently showing on the tracker here, all on the C2 medium tire. Even Ferrari actually going out on the medium. So interesting choice for McLaren there.
Well, even the Williams are out on mediums, which is interesting. Vettel's coming out on softs, it looks like.
So Sainz goes quickest at the moment with the 19.5.
Reckoning close at 126, only 7 seconds off the pace.
Yeah, Verstappen currently purple in the first sector. He's also on the C2 medium tire.
And he just got beat by Bottas, who's getting beat by Hamilton at the same time, who's getting beat by Norris. So
And Leclerc.
Yeah. George Russell going very fast as well in Sector 1.
Let's see where Max's time puts him, but really good job there from the two Ferraris.
19 flat from Max. That's a very solid time.
Yep, 0.3 quicker than the next closest competitor, which is Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari. That should be enough to put him through into Q3 unless we get some massive track evolution within the next 10 minutes or so.
Mm-hmm. And Bottas could have actually made the time here. I don't think he will. It looked like he ended up having some traffic on one of the exits, but I think he can still get fastest lap or fastest in the session.
Watch Lando here. He might pit Bottas. Bottas goes fastest in 18.4. That's a fast lap too.
Yeah, I think Hamilton will beat him here.
Really good laps from everyone else. Yeah.
Norris in 18.4, Hamilton a 17.9.
Yep.
Well.
So that was on his second run, is that right?
That was on his second lap. All these guys was on their second lap.
Yeah, so as much like we saw in practice too, it's really working well on that second lap, doing that extra sort of warm-up lap.
Perez goes faster than Verstappen. That's going to be really interesting for the final run because are these guys going to have to come out with 4 minutes left instead of 3 minutes just so they can make sure they get an extra fast lap in.
Yeah, Tsunoda also setting personal best. Obviously, Sebastian Vettel with a very solid time going ahead of Max Verstappen.
Esteban Ocon, wow, 18.5 from Esteban. There,
Alpine looks really good this week.
yeah, he's on softs too. So, oh, Norris was also on softs. So I don't. It's gonna be interesting.
It's really tough to call.
Are we going to see the swap out from Hamilton and Bottas and Perez? Perez could definitely set a faster time in those softs.
I think Hamilton's pretty safe at 17.9, but I
Yeah.
could see Bottas having to go on a lap on softs.
I think he will. I think there was at least, I want to see one turn for sure that he didn't get a proper exit out of, so he could definitely make some time back.
So let's see. Everyone's going. Well, Verstappen's doing a lap here. He's the only one. Oh, so is Gasly. Gasly's, I think, doing a lap, but no, he's not. He's
Gonna play
aborted.
it safe and keep these times, or go for a round two with Perez.
I think they have to go for another
think
run.
they do.
Let's see what Verstappen gets here.
Better than Perez.
Yeah, improves by a little bit, but I still don't think it's enough. I think he's going to have to go again.
Is damn interesting.
Oh, somebody's commentary is coming through again.
We are using the F1 TV app, but I believe we all have different download speeds.
I think I have the slowest one.
Hey man, my stream stopped a couple of times, so I don't think it's got to do with slow. I think I also have people at video conferences right now. So
Yeah, like if you guys are in the chat room, it's tough for me to see. I'm getting an excellent condition report on the YouTube control room in terms of the stream health, so that's good. But that's pretty actually remarkable considering I'm on Wi-Fi and not Ethernet.
Oh, Will talking about the doubleheader in Texas this weekend for IndyCar. That's gonna be interesting. I always get scared of Texas and IndyCar Texas, but just with the speeds and how crazy those guys are. But no, it should be a good weekend racing.
there's definitely a big delay on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a big delay on YouTube. I think it's about 10 seconds.
Oh, okay, that's not. I thought you were gonna say like a minute or something.
Maybe even more. Maybe even more.
I'd say it's about 10 seconds. 10,
No,
15.
because I just popped up on the live stream right now talking. So it's about 15, 20.
Yeah, if you guys can try and sort of sync it up with where we're at, it's going to be tough because, like you said, everybody has different speeds, so you might be behind here or there. So current top 10, we got Hamilton, Bottas, Norris, Esteban Ocon, Max Verstappen and his teammate Sergio Perez in 6th, Sebastian Vettel, Charles Leclerc, Pierre Gasly, and Fernando Alonso. So currently the drivers at risk, we have George Russell, Yuki Tsunoda, Carlos Sainz, and the 2 Alfa Romeos of Giovinazzi and Raikkonen. Who is the most likely out of that elimination zone, Tyler, to make it out into Q3?
I think you have to look at the Ferrari in Carlos Sainz. He's been going half decent so far around the track this weekend, and I think they have the best car suited for the track. Yuki Tsunoda struggled all weekend. Did a good job getting out of Q1. The Alfa Romeos, I don't think have the pace there, but you never know. George is Mr. Saturday. He could pull a fast one on us and pull out a Q3 result. He's only half a tenth off Fernando Alonso for that last spot. So I think you can look at Russell and Sainz of maybe getting out. It's going to be tricky for them though.
I think during that time, Max Verstappen went in the pits and they were putting on the soft tires for him to come back out.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm interested to see who's on softs. Looks like Sainz, Giovinazzi, Raikkonen on softs on their outlap. So is Norris.
Will, thank you for the $5 donation. Sorry,
No,
Tyler.
all good.
Thank you. We stocked up on coffee this morning for this live stream, so appreciate it, man.
Thank you very much. Well, much appreciated.
Yeah, thanks, Will. Appreciate that very much, and hopefully you're enjoying coffee out there. I don't know if people could see my Latifi mug. He's out in Q1, but anyways, I keep drinking on.
I've got my back markers F1 mug going today.
There we go.
Clear mug of coffee with.
So the drivers that definitely have to be careful here, obviously Fernando Alonso at risk in 10th, Pierre Gasly as well in 9th, and then Charles Leclerc as 8th. But again, this will be a very good build-up here into the final 4 minutes of this session because of track evolution and just how close the field is anyways. So I think it'll be very interesting. Curious to see what you said, Tyler, or I think it was Shaker that said Verstappen going out on the softer tires, if he's going to complete that lap or not. I don't know how safe he is sitting right now at 5th, actually. It might be even closer than we think.
Well,
I think
sorry, go ahead, Shaker.
I was going to say the big thing with him right now is he doesn't have straight line speed, so he's going to try and make up some. He's got to make up some times with those soft tires on those corners.
No, that's a good point. I'm just looking right now. Raikkonen's going pretty quick. Sainz isn't having a good lap. He's going to have to hope for another lap coming up because it might get him out of the bottom, but I don't think it's good enough. We're going to see some more track evolution from everyone else. So,
And yes, Will, we are Canadian. We are
yes.
Canadian boys.
Yeah, a lot of people think we're American.
Do you want us to start adding A at the end of sentences? I do it without realizing it sometimes.
Giovinazzi can't make it out of the bottom, so he's going to have to go again. Not sure what happened to Raikkonen there.
Yeah, he had a poor middle sector. Sainz had a much better second and third sector. But obviously he's still at risk, so he'll, like you said, Tyler, he'll go for a second lap. We should expect lap times to be quicker on the second run. His teammate Leclerc, though, is on the medium.
Charles. Yeah, and he just had a lockup too, so that's not going to help his lap time. Probably lost half a second there. So Vettel out on track, and he is putting up some purple times, purple mini sectors, I should say. I think he's going to improve on this lap, I believe. This is a nice little lap from Seb, especially in Sector 3.
I'll tell you what, if he can get into Q3 here, I mean, I don't know if this is a sign of him finally getting on top of the car or just the conditions, but this is some excellent news considering how his weekend started, but I don't want to curse it just yet.
Oh, he doesn't improve on his lap time.
See?
Huh. He had a good Sector 3 to start off, but the last half of Sector 3 didn't go well for him, and I'm not seeing a lot of times improving here.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, he can get out in one more lap.
Yeah.
Let's hope. And well, we're about 4 or 5 hours from you, so yeah, it is huge for how how many people we have here.
Yeah, I said Will says he's from Toronto. Is that I saw that right?
Yeah, he's from Toronto. Well, we're from Ottawa, so we're just down the road. Hopefully, you're not a Leafs fan.
Hey man, the one that brings us all together is we're all Raptors
That's
fans.
true. And Blue Jays fans.
And Blue Jays fans, yep.
So the two Alpha Tauris as well, setting personal bests. We'll see if enough. Gasly currently in the elimination zone. Or, I mean, he's still in Q3 at the moment at 10th, but still definitely at risk. So many of the drivers are just countering oversteer so much. I don't know if that's just lack of grip or also the wind probably as well.
Yeah, it's got to be a mix of everything, I think, here, because it's really interesting looking at these sector times because they're setting, personal best, and then there'll be a yellow sector in there. So I think the wind is really – actually, the wind's not very strong right now. It says it's only 2 kilometers on my screen here, so – track temp has gone down a little bit. It's to 36 degrees. George Russell's on a very nice lap here, guys. Yeah, check out George Russell here. He might get out.
Yeah, Giovinazzi as well, setting some good times.
Raikkonen can improve. Sainz improves to sixth, puts Leclerc on the bubble. Leclerc goes sixth. Gasly on the bubble. Here comes George. George goes 11th, half a tenth off Q3.
That's close.
Ah,
He was so close.
that's tough. They're clapping at the Williams garage. I know that's a great little result there, but they wanted to get into Q3. That's close.
Tell you what, though, that's a pretty good
Oh,
place to start from.
Yeah, they do get a choice of tires, right, Chris? So that's going to help with their strategy. 11th is kind of the best of the worst because you can get your free choice of tires.
0.3 of a second, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, and especially for the Williams, I'm sure they'd probably rather start on that medium tire or even the hard, for example. I mean, if you remember back to the race last year, driver like Esteban Ocon, for example, made that medium tire last for 53 laps. So clearly a one-stop is most likely going to be the winning strategy again, minus any safety cars or anything like that. So I think that's actually a pretty excellent result for Russell considering his last weekend. Q3 obviously would have been great, but that free tire choice is going to be, I think, come in pretty handy for them tomorrow.
Well, it's just going to be interesting, though, of what tire they choose. I mean, you're saying, yeah, like the hards could work, but the problem is that look how, like just going to last year, how long it took to fire up the tires. And even this year, with the track temp being 37 degrees, they're still struggling to fire up the tires for lap one. Lap two is where we're seeing a lot of the faster times. So that could be a problem starting on the grid, not having cold tires going into turn one and cold tires for the first lap and getting overtaken by someone on still a softer set of tires.
Oh, sorry there, guys. I know Tyler kind of just dropped out there a little bit sort of near the end there.
Oh,
Yeah, you're back now.
sorry.
I think you're good.
All right. No, I was just saying how, if you were seeing how last year went with the tires and how it took the harder tires to fire up a little quicker. If that could hurt someone starting on harder tires the first few laps, but it'll be interesting.
But the best news, I think, of all, and I think everybody will be happy with this, is that Sebastian Vettel is in Q3. It's his first Q3 appearance for Aston Martin, first Q3 appearance in a bounce-back session for Vettel, considering how his weekend was shaping up. So very interesting to see what he can do here in this final session at Q3. But anyways, I think that's a small victory in and of itself.
Absolutely, see from Seb. Maybe it's the wise old head on him that's got him kind of drivers. I mean, his teammate didn't make it out of Q1, so
Yeah, exactly.
Tyler, apparently you're living in a
Trailer
trailer
park.
park?
is that because I live in Ottawa? I mean, I just moved, so I do have a lot of stuff everywhere. I got a lot of sports equipment around,
Settle in.
That's right.
So we got... All right, so just about ready to go then for Q3 in a couple moments' time. So just how close it was, speaking earlier about George Russell missing Q3. P11 for him in the end, but he was 0.05 seconds from getting through to Q3.
Just listen to Yuki Tsunoda. He's not happy that he's half a second behind his teammate, let's say.
Yeah, he's extremely vocal on the radio.
Yeah. Yeah, he uses a lot of swear words too. He likes to swear.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so who are you going for pole? What are your guys' picks for pole position here? Of course, we got a lot at stake actually. Lewis Hamilton could score his 100th pole position here today, and obviously, of course, in the greater scheme of things, the championship battle between Verstappen and Hamilton. But who do you guys think will come out on top here in the last session?
I mean, you got to lean towards Hamilton with that crazy lap he just put down. It's 17.9, half a second quicker than anyone else. We'll see if he can repeat it in Q3. We'll see if track limits come into a factor too, because we saw there wasn't really much drama with that in Q2, but in Q1 there was. So I think Hamilton has to be favored. You, Shaker? Well, you're on mute,
Thank you
Shaker.
for that. Thank you for that. Hamilton definitely is the favorite for me as well to take it. He's been, setting it the entire weekend. But I think I'm going to go for Valtteri. Just to change it up. I think there was a couple of turns in qualifying that I think he could have gotten a couple more milliseconds out of the car. So I'm going to go with Bottas just to change it up, just because Max doesn't seem super confident in those straight lines, and it's hard to make back those times if you're not getting the full speed out of your car on the coming out of the turns. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Valtteri.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Hamilton as well, going for that century of pole positions in this session. But curious to see how close Verstappen will be in the end, and I think that he might even have a chance to go faster. Again, I just think it's a tricky session in terms of getting the conditions right and firing up those tires correctly. And also interesting, let's see which drivers come out on which tire, right? We mentioned in last season's race, last season's session, it was the medium tires in Q3, and we might see that again if that's more favorable for the drivers.
Looks majority softs.
Yeah, looking like everyone's softs for the most part.
Everyone's going soft.
There you
Gasly just pulled out in front of Norris, and Norris had a slam on his brakes.
Yeah, they're all soft, dude. Looks like about 8 out of 10 cars are soft.
Leclerc is out on. Oh no, they just changed it to softs.
Yeah, my stream's a little bit behind, so I'm just seeing that come through now.
So far, Ocon, Verstappen, and Vettel are the only ones not on track.
I wonder if they'll be fueled for an extra lap like they did in the first two sessions.
I mean, I would. I don't know why you wouldn't at this point, with the way that the tires and the track has been going, with that second lap being as good or even better than your first lap.
Right. So we got the two Mercedes out heading the pack, and then it looks like the Red Bull of, yes, that's Sergio Perez, because Verstappen came out of the garage a little bit later.
Verstappen on a brand new set of softs compared to Norris, who was on a used set.
Yep.
And he waited for everybody to be almost halfway down the track to come out to get that extra, to get the spacing.
It also might help him just to get a little bit more grip because he's got 9 other cars kind of laying down fresh rubber for him.
Yeah.
That's true. All on softs, too.
Tell you what, it's a little bit tricky, though, for... I'm just looking at that train of cars. You got Leclerc and Sainz, and then Bottas and Hamilton, all pretty close to each other, already starting their flying laps.
Yeah, and we just had Bottas overtake.
Yeah.
That was Sainz he overtook going to turn 1.
So I'm wondering if they're...
Hamilton overtook Sainz too, and Sainz aborted his lap. So I think we may have seen something interesting happen there.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think that either of those cars in that 4-car train there are going to finish a good flying lap. I think that just might be another warm-up lap because, yeah, the two Mercs are very close to the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc. Sebastian Vettel now out on track as well. Drivers like Verstappen...
You don't see much qualifying.
Sorry, go ahead, Tyler.
No, I was just saying you don't see much close racing like this in qualifying usually.
Yeah.
That's what they're hoping the sprint races are like, right?
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's true. We'll get into that on the podcast.
Yeah. Might have to do a separate
Yeah.
one for that.
That's fucking F1 just wanting money in their pockets.
Well, we got your opinion on it.
Yeah, we know your opinion. Whoa! Verstappen at a
Oh,
nice little
that's the same
correction.
spot that Perez lost his grip on
That's right.
Q1.
Yeah, that was a nasty little moment. Saved it though.
Yeah. That's what it's going to come down to, is just those finer little moments, and who can kind of nail the best conditions and the best lap at the right time.
Wow, look at those times.
Whoa!
Plus 10.
Esteban Ocon.
Wow. Man, he's on a burner this weekend.
19.4 is solid, but I'm not sure how well it's going to turn into at the end.
It's nothing. He's gonna definitely have to do one more, but
Yeah.
start off like that. That's a good start.
Wind has picked up a lot as well.
Yeah.
118.2 for Verstappen.
Even with the him losing grip.
It got deleted for track limits, so there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Norris, a 119.1 goes quickest. That's on a used set of softs.
Yeah, and that grip, those tires that Verstappen has probably have. I mean, he slipped
Yeah.
a little bit. Probably don't have the exact grip he needs now.
Whoa, Hamilton goes 118.3, but behind Bottas, so not as quick as he did in Q2.
Signs 119.
Sergio Perez, an 18.8.
Yeah, I think
So that puts Perez P3.
Vettel P9.
if the data is correct here, I think Hamilton's 7 thousandths of a second off of Valtteri's time.
Yeah, that's what we have too. So
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of pressure then for that last run for Max.
yeah, it will be.
It doesn't seem like he's feeling any pressure.
That's true, yeah.
We'll just do it again.
It's a shame. Probably would have been a pretty good lap considering he had the clearest track out of any of the top runners there.
Why would you say that, Will? Third race of the season.
I don't think it's over just yet. I think we're just getting started. The Mercedes do look pretty handy around this track, but I don't think that has anything to do with the season as a whole. I think they're just their car might be suited a little bit better for Portimao compared to the Red Bulls, and the Red Bulls have been pretty twitchy around here so far this weekend.
And we know for a fact that Max's qualifying pace never sets his race pace ever. His race pace is always different.
And keep in mind, too, that the conditions
You
are...
gotta remember that a track like this is similar to, I want to say similar to Hungary. I might be wrong. You guys can, say that. But it's got so many different levels, so many sharp turns that it's something.
Oh, just lost you in the end there.
Oh, sorry, Chris, you cut out there.
Yep.
Yeah, you cut out for me too, Chris. I presume that you're saying the conditions are tricky with the wind going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and also it's cooler,
It is
right?
this
There's some hosts, isn't he?
There you go. Now you're back.
There we go.
But you're saying the track conditions are going to be completely different tomorrow? Is that what you're saying?
No, I was just gonna say also that like if you look at the season. Oh, and we just lost these two guys here. Oh, we'll try to reconnect here. Just loading at the moment. There we go. I think they're back now. There we go. Sorry there. Just lost you guys there for a minute.
No worries.
All good. Yeah, well, I feel you, man. It's hard, but being a Red Bull fan, I think this is the closest year that this is the closest they'll get in a long time, or until the future, that is.
They add new rules next year. I mean, maybe we'll see a shakeup.
Yeah, but I think if Red Bull really wants to bring the fight, they're gonna have to show. Now, did they put on a brand new set of softs?
Yeah. Everyone's got a brand new set for the last run here. The only out, so only one's not out.
We're in Ottawa, my friend. Why would you think we're in Bangladesh?
Might be chirping the internet. Bottas and Hamilton are on the mediums.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So very interesting.
They set pretty good times though on the soft. I'm wondering what they saw in the conditions that makes them.
Mediums, they were like right there, and the timing. I think Hamilton was faster on the mediums, wasn't he?
I think so.
Surprised they didn't go one soft and one medium to try out something different.
Wind is at 22 kilometers an hour right now, so it's gusty out. It could cause some problems.
What's just trying to load it up here. What's Verstappen coming out on?
Verstappen's on softs, a brand new set of softs.
Apparently, we're lagging.
Yeah, I see that here.
I'm sorry, Data. We're having some issues right now. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys.
Trying to reload it. We'll see if it comes back. It was good for a good half hour or so. Now it's just kind of been cutting off in the end here. Verstappen not going quicker at the moment, actually, on the softer tire, so maybe Mercedes were right to go out on the mediums.
Well, so far, they're not doing a fast lap, though, for the Mercedes yet.
Yeah.
Esteban Ocon going pretty fast here in Sector 1 so far.
Oh, yeah, Verstappen's fighting a lot of oversteer.
Yeah.
And he gets some traffic.
I don't think he's getting it.
P3.
Yeah.
Vettel's going to get a nice tow here from Verstappen.
Oh my God, he's pushing it too hard.
Yeah, that's going to be...
That's going to be a brutal time. Oh my God! He squeezes out.
So I guess really could come down here to the two Mercedes.
Yeah, it is.
I think so. I'm really surprised Verstappen even made it into third.
None of the Mercedes are really making much progress here.
Yeah, not at all.
Lewis really struggling, seesawing that wheel a lot. Bottas doesn't improve.
Sainz with fifth.
Hamilton, he can't improve either. So Bottas on pole. Well, here comes
Is it
Sebastian
Bottas?
Vettel.
Oh, he's.
Oh, he didn't improve. He looked like he was on a good lap.
Well, there you go. Who was it? I think Shaker, you predicted Bottas, right?
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Well
Oh,
done.
I heard. Sorry, I think my stream was still going until Lewis Hamilton can still improve, and I'm like, can I just get one right, please?
Yeah.
No, that was well done, Shaker. Good selection. So yeah, Mercedes lockout. Hamilton has to wait for his 100th pole position as Bottas spoils that party. But we have Mercedes front row, Red Bull second row.
Very, very interesting.
Yeah, we hadn't heard anything from Valtteri in this entire qualifying session. He was just keeping his head down.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping he would put his head down and get that pole.
I just want to give a quick shout out to Esteban Ocon, P6.
Yeah, very, very good.
Awesome for Esteban. Now, what would this do for the championship if Valtteri Bottas won this race? 3 different winners in 3 races. I mean, that would put Bottas right in contention for the championship as well, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would certainly put him close in there, especially if he could score maybe that extra point for fastest lap. But a very good bounce back weekend for him so far, considering his last race. So yeah, this should be very interesting for the race tomorrow, with the 2 Mercedes starting 1 and 2, like we saw many times last year. But we'll see what the Red Bull can do in third there. Maybe let's just quickly wrap up. I know we're kind of running a little bit out of bandwidth here. So thank you to everybody who stayed along with us for this hour-long session. Quick thoughts from you guys to wrap up this stream, and then looking ahead to the race tomorrow. What can we expect?
I mean, I thought it was an interesting qualifying with all the win and the times we've seen go up and down for all the teams, really. So interesting grid for the start of the race. Will be interesting to see how the tires fire off at the start of the race as well. So I think it's gonna be a very good race. I love this track, and yeah, I just want to thank everyone for coming in with us and joining in. Will, thank you very much for that donation as well. And yeah, no, it will be interesting to see. We can't wait for our podcast for the recap of the race. Make sure you guys tune in for that.
Yeah, it should be a very good race. Interesting to see if Max can split the Mercedes right off the bat. I know he doesn't have Sergio Perez right next to him to help him out, but it should be a very, very good race. I really enjoyed Portimao last year. A lot of unpredictability in terms of when it comes to the race. The track is just, the levels are so weird on the track that a lot of the engineers really have to work for, as say with the drivers. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, so am I. It's going to be a really, really good one, and I can't wait till the race. And then after next week, we'll be bringing you some great content post 2021 Portuguese Grand Prix. Again, thanks everybody for joining us today. Sorry that the stream was a little bit, had some technical difficulties. We will correct that for next stream. But thank you very much for staying along with us for the chats, the super chats as well, and of course the continued support throughout the whole season. Have a great weekend, guys. Enjoy the race tomorrow, and you'll be hearing from us soon. Take care.
Peace.
Thank you.